Let's have a chat about the balance between capital and social. How exciting! In economics, capital essentially means private, while social essentially means sharing. Are you a 5-year-old who does not want to share, or are you an adult who sees the benefits in sharing? While at the same time, of course, having some things for the personal and private. Now, if we add an ism to these two things, for far too many, one of them seems to stay great, but the other becomes somehow a boogeyman. And when we hear someone blanketly denigrating socialism, can tell not only are they self-hating if they're a member of the middle class, but that they have been mind-controlled by oligarchic media when that happens, because the con of the oligarchy for thousands of years has been to privatize gains and socialize losses, essentially keeping the best aspects of private and public for themselves, instead of for the people. A prime example being taxpayers bailing out banking crooks on Wall Street in the 2008 mortgage crisis. So what type of socialism, or capitalism for that matter, is one referring to? Because these things on both ends exist in a spectrum. As for the accumulation of capital, we have laissez-faire capitalism, state capitalism, corporate capitalism, crony capitalism, welfare capitalism, democratic capitalism, people's capitalism, natural capitalism, financial capitalism, green capitalism, creative capitalism, or even something like inclusive capitalism. And for the sharing of resources, we have democratic socialism, social democracy, utopian socialism, Marxist socialism, libertarian socialism, revolutionary socialism, and even things like Marxist-Leninism, Trotskyism, Maoism, eco-socialism, market socialism, guild socialism, Fabian socialism, and syndicalism. So even though we would much rather be talking about deeper philosophical or esoteric subjects instead of anything orbiting around the political, as we've said before, and we'll say it again because it can't be said enough, and also because one of the main pillars of our work is about balance, and we got a comment the other day blanketly denigrating the social aspect, which led to our mouths sighing and then our eyes rolling, because this is like high school level stuff that a lot of Americans don't get, so we have to keep sinking down into lower consciousness insights to do our part to help democracy. In what configuration are you mixing these in order to have the most balance between the two, and thus the most liberty and freedom? Because 100% capitalism without any public social becomes fascism, and 100% socialism without any private capital becomes communism, both of which are authoritarian and awful. Psycho North Korea being an example of a communist nightmare, which is a single-party system that has nearly 100% state, meaning totalitarian government control of all significant economic activities, complete centralized planning and distribution, including the media and the means of production, where there is little to no private enterprise, i.e. the government makes the food, shoes, and television sets, and all of that is tightly controlled by a ruling authority cult under a Marxist-Leninist style economic system, ideology with a complete lack of political and economic freedoms. At the complete opposite end of that polar spectrum, you have psycho-Nazi Germany, which was fascist, yet clearly marketed itself during its formation as being National Socialist to cleverly try and win over German minds at the time, because socialism was very popular in Germany in the 1920s, but the SS were actually just ultra-nationalists who immediately privatized all industry under a single-party totalitarian cult that also rejects liberal democratic principles such as a strong middle class, individual rights, pluralism, and multi-party systems. What does have the most liberty and justice for all is a balance between capitalism and socialism, where corporations operate within a set of rules in which the government acts like essentially a referee on behalf of the middle class. This is referred to as a social market economy or a social democracy, an approach which combines the benefits of a market-based economy with robust social policies and government regulations to ensure economic stability, reduce inequality, and provide a basic social safety net for its citizens. A social market economy or social democracy is the most populist system in the freest parts of the world because of its key characteristics that entail things such as having a mixed economy, allowing for private ownership of businesses and capital, fostering innovation, entrepreneurship, and economic growth. At the same time, it maintains a significant role in regulating the market to prevent monopolies, ensure fair competition, and protect workers. Having strong social safety nets. Social democracies typically have comprehensive social programs, including universal health care, free or subsidized education, unemployment benefits, pensions, and social housing, reducing poverty, supporting the vulnerable and ensuring that basic needs are met for all citizens. On a personal level, our parents would be bankrupt if it wasn't for Medicare. Having progressive taxation, which ensures that the wealthier individuals and corporations pay a higher percentage of their income in taxes, preventing morbid wealth, reducing income inequality, and funding social services and public goods. Having labor rights and protections, including minimum wage laws, collective bargaining rights, and safe working conditions, empowering workers to ensure fair wages, helping to build a robust middle class by promoting job security and fair competition. Having regulated markets. While markets are largely free and competitive, the government does play a role in regulating them to prevent abuses and oftentimes also protect the environment against polluters and ensure the public well-being. This regulation helps stabilize the economy and prevents crises that could disproportionately affect the middle class and the poor. And having promotion of small and medium enterprises through grants, loans, and favorable regulations which foster a diverse economy and reduce dependence on large soulless megacorpses. A strong middle class is often associated with political stability because middle-class citizens tend to favor policies that promote public services and democratic governance, reducing the risk of political extremism and polarization, contributing to economic resilience by providing a stable consumer base, fostering creative entrepreneurship, and promoting economic growth. Middle-class citizens tend to also have more disposable income, of course, which supports domestic consumption and demand. Reducing economic inequality and promoting a strong middle class can enhance social cohesion and reduce social tensions. Where citizens feel that they have a fair opportunity to succeed, it then fosters a sense of shared purpose and solidarity. This engagement is crucial for maintaining a healthy democracy, as it promotes accountability, transparency, and public participation in the political process. Because, most of all, an empire very much knows this, a prosperous middle class is more likely to be politically active, engaged in civic life, and then free eventually to be focused on their own self-development if they so choose, which is terrifying to the empire because it gives the most freedom to the people to essentially control their own destinies.